Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Welcome to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by you know who. It's the Buffalo Fanatics. You're tuned in to the Rico Report. I am your host. What's up, baby? Wildcard weekend. It's time. It is time. You got me sounding like Bruce Buffer. It's time. Folks, this is it. It's do or die. It is it. You win or you go home. And I got to tell you, it's been a minute since we've seen the Bills in this scenario, in this position of people doubting the Bills. You got pundits, you got other people saying, yo, the Bills might be favored, but the roster ain't it. The Bills might be favored, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are hot. They're on an 8-game win streak. Did you see who they beat? Bro, they're it. And I'll tell you right now, I love it. I absolutely love it. If you are an athlete, if you are a lover of sports, this is what you live for. If you're a fan of the Jacksonville Jaguars, you are Duval through and through. You should be wanting this game. You should be wanting this smoke. And this is why this is going to be such a fun one. It'll be devastating if the Bills don't go through, because you want your team to go through. That's just how naturally you as a fanatic want it to go. But is it going to be that way? Do we have what it takes? Is there enough juice on this team to go through, to punch it through to divisional round? Is Josh Allen going to be ready to roll? Will he turn on playoff Josh? Will the defense show up for us? These are all the questions that have Bills fans not being able to sleep at night. I'll be for real. There's some cats out there that are stressed out about what's taking place, as they should be, man, because the playoffs. Around this time of year, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I don't like playoff weekend. I don't like wildcard weekend because it's just crazy to me. Now, but there's a little something that's got me a little excited about this matchup, because right now momentum seems to be going the Jaguars' way. I might be reading this wrong, but based on what I've been hearing, based on what I've been reading, you know what I'm saying? Content creators from other squads talking about this, teams that have been eliminated. They can't wait for the Bills to have their downfall. Bro, it's as if, you would think that the Bills are just lucky to be here. We're just lucky to be here, right? Y'all just made it. And you know what? If that's the energy that is being brought Buffalo's way, I hope all Bills players embrace that. Because right now, the Jaguars are trying to find every edge they can. And Vegas gave it to them. Vegas gave it to them to being a home underdog. How disrespectful. You already got the coach. Coach is already talking about, hey, man, we're the home team. We're the t-shirt and hat winners, and they got us as the underdog. That's enough heat and momentum that these boys need to go in here, not even dreading that they're going to be playing the Buffalo Bills, right? Most folks kind of be looking at these Bills like, yo, this is going to be a tough matchup. Duval, these Jacksonville Jaguars, bro, they can't wait. They can't wait, because this is not just a game for them. This is one of those moments where it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a rite of passage. That's the way I think these Jacksonville Jaguars are looking at it. This is a rite of passage. We have an opportunity right now to not only advance to the divisional round, right? We just won our division handedly. And not only do we win our division, we have to go and host these Buffalo Bills. This is a rite of passage for us to, knock out Josh Allen and these Bills that have been contenders for years but can't get it done. Why not us? Why? They're going to be like, why not us? Why not let us knock them out? And let's now create our own destiny. Now, that's the Jacksonville Jaguars way of looking at it, right? I have to build it up that way. Now, here come these Bills. Jaguars are waiting. They're what I call war ready. They're ready for everything. They're ready for all of it. But guess what? Buffalo's here saying, you know what? We hear it. we see it, and we want all the smoke. Bring all the smoke. You ain't never going to see Buffalo run from the smoke. We go to the smoke. So right now, there's a whole lot of smoke right now, and we're running right to the smoke. The smoke is in Jacksonville. The smoke is in Duval Nation. So why not bring the stampede? You already know Buffalo travels extremely well. So what's going to take place right off the rip is the fan base got to bring the smoke to Duval. That's how I'm looking at this game, and I'm excited for it. And there's a lot of it that we're going to chat about and go through. I got my homie that'll be joining me very shortly to go and talk about this Jaguars game. But before I do, I do want to touch on just a slight little bit on the matchup we just had against the New York Jets, but not because the New York Jets were anything that is worth to chat about. Nothing like that. But I did read something that I thought was super dope, and I got to bring this up. Mitchell Trubisky. First of all, a heck of a game for Mitchell Trubisky. I don't give a damn if he was going up against the 5th, 6th, 7th string defenders from the New York Football Jets. You are in the NFL. You are the best of the best. And my man, Mr. Trubisky, put up 4 tutties on these boys, over 250 yards. Bro was cooking. He was dialed up. But what I love most about what Mr. Trubisky brings to this team is a little bit of leadership. I say a little bit, but it's a lot. Because apparently, Mr. Trubisky went around the locker room on the offensive side of the ball and said, hey, which one of y'all has got money to be made today? Which one of y'all has got incentives to be made? Dawson Knox was like, I do. Taron Johnson. You got Ty Johnson saying, I do, right? He got brothers paid on that weekend. Kudos to these boys, and kudos to Mr. Trubisky, the class act. And I'm going to miss Mr. Trubisky because if he doesn't return, if somebody doesn't snatch him and say, yo, I want you to be the bridge quarterback, or I want you to be the guy that starts on this team, bro, we might not have Mr. Trubisky back, man. So if this is the last of Mr. Trubisky in Buffalo, yo, salute. Salute to you, my G. Salute to Money Mitch. Salute to Money Mitch. Mitchell Trubisky, that's a fitting name for Mitchell Trubisky, Money Mitch, because he got a few brothers paid on that team, and I love to see it. So big shout out to Mitchell Trubisky. The Jets, listen, the Jets were the Jets, but I like this because it allowed certain players that have not touched the field to get on the field and really kind of show that I still got it. This was still an opportunity for these players to come in and say, hey, man, if I need to be used in any way, use me. And that's where you saw Ray Davis, you know what I'm saying? Ramon Davis came through, had 150 plus yards rushing, had a touchdown in the air, nice reception, bounced off the dude into the end zone. Those are the things I like to see. I think we've got one of the best, if not the best, running back tandem trio in the game. And then add in my boy Reggie Gilliam, a.k.a. the Sledge. Bro, that's nothing to play with. And that's why this was the #1 rushing offense in the NFL. It's a dangerous, dangerous team to go up against. And that's why I love it. I love that we are bringing that rushing offense to Jacksonville. Because right now you're about to face the smoke. You're about to face the chef. Because the chef been cooking in that kitchen. My boy James Cook is ready to bring it. Coming off a wonderful rushing title. The recipient of the 2025 rushing title goes to our guy, James Cook, coming through and chefing it up for these Bills. First Bill to do it in a very long time. Legends have played running back on this Buffalo Bills team. And James Cook becomes victorious on the rushing title. So big salute to James Cook, man. Over 1,600 yards rushing, over 10 touchdowns this year, over 250 yards receiving this year with some touchdowns in the air. Boy, this boy was absolutely dialed in. He was just shy of getting over that 2,000-yard purpose yards, but that's okay. We got till next year. We got next year. But the Bills are absolutely lucky to have a running back like James Cook, and let's roll. Let us roll. So that being said, big matchup coming up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are you guys excited about? I'm not going to sit here and ask, what are you guys worried about? We have Friday's show to get into all of that. But what stands out to you guys about this upcoming game? I'm going to start off with the obvious. All right. Josh Allen and his ability to play big time football in the playoffs. We already know his accolades. We already know where he's at. He's got 7 playoff wins. Like, we know he's got the experience. We know that when he comes in to play ball, he turns it on. Turnovers go down. Production goes way up. We know that's what we're going to be expecting from Josh. Josh is already aware what he's expected to do. Keep the turnovers down to a minimum, to 0 would be great, and get the ball into your playmakers' hands and do what they need to do. And if they're not, that's when you open up the old chest, you take the old glasses off, and you become Superman and you do what you need to do. You just don't need to do it too soon and too early. But I'm starting off with Josh because Josh is coming off an ankle injury. And we know that those ankle injuries can be a bummer, but Josh is a tough son of a gun. And it's going to take a whole lot to keep that brother from playing, not only just playing, but keep that brother from really executing at a high level. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that can do what that brother can do. And right now he's banged up. So that's got a little bit, it's got me worried just a tiny bit at the back of the old head. But I know that he'll prevail. He'll be the best that he needs to be for this offense so we can keep rolling. The real now question becomes, who's coming with Josh? And when I ask that question, who's coming with Josh? Because Josh, you already know, the resume speaks for itself. He does what he does. But who's coming with me, right? When I need one of y'all to step up, who's going to step up for me? You already know James Cook is like, I got you, right? I use that regular season as warm-up. Now it's time to really turn the dial up and ready to go. So James Cook is going to be ready to go. Number 1 rushing offense, rushing title, got that underneath his belt. Now you want momentum. You got momentum going into the season. You got one of the best O-line in the game, a top 5 offensive line, Deion Dawkins, well-rested, ready to go. You got one of the best right tackles in the game, and Spencer Brown, too tall. Spencer Brown, right? Edwards, McGovern, and we got Mr. Saibo. So we've got beef, we've got size, and we've got momentum going into this game. So the Jaguars do present a tough run defense, one of the best in the league, if not the number 1 rushing defense. They're allowing less than 90 yards rushing per game. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But who's coming with? And I'm more leaning towards, I need someone from this offensive side of the room to step up. Guess who I'm looking at? I'm looking at the well-rested, hopefully well-rested. You know who I'm talking about, Dalton Kincaid. When Dalton Kincaid is on the field with Josh Allen and this Bills, it totally changes the way this offense rolls. And with the emergence and the coming up of Dawson Knox, it gives us reinforcement. Now you got someone that's a mismatch. You got a smooth route runner that can get beyond the sticks and create for himself. And you've got great a run blocking tight end in Dawson Knox that can spell in and come in. You have those 2 guys alone, that creates conflict for the defense. Once that is established, this team is very difficult to stop, very difficult to slow down. So very much looking forward to seeing a healthy Dalton Kincaid coming onto the field. I loved seeing that he got on the field in the last season finale at the Ralph at Highmark Stadium. A lot of folks were saying, whoa, okay, we get it. He's healthy. He caught a football. We're good. Get him off the field because we need him for the next game. So the likes of Dalton Kincaid being ready to go for this game against this Jacksonville defense, this is what's going to be huge for this offense, right? All year, this offense has been rolling. We do great things, but how much more potent is this offense when Kincaid is at the helm, when he's there, when he's a presence? Because now you've got to account for 86. You have to account for him. You need to find where eyes on 86 to see where he's at. Because if indeed that he's healthy and ready to go, Josh is accustomed to him. Josh will find him, and it will be mismatches. And here's what I love a lot about this combination. Running the football will be a plus. It's going to be a must. We know that. The return of Kincaid tremendously helps this offense. But X factor in this, and it's a small X factor. I'm not saying he's a main factor, but it's a factor in this. The fact that the Bills have brought some speed now. We've had a sample size, a small sample size, to know that we will stretch the field. We will send the ball deep. And Brandon Cooks presents that for us. I'm not saying that he's going to be the difference maker, but he's also going to make teams respect that Josh will go deep. Josh has got one of the biggest arms in the game. So you can't sit here and sit at the sticks. Not with him, not with Josh. Not that any team does that anyway, because there's too much respect for 17. But the fact that Brandon Cooks has now shown, or at least Joe Brady has shown, that they will spell him, they will send him deep, they will kind of stretch the field just to make you respect what we got. This is where things open up, not only for the run game, but it opens up tremendously for Dawson Knox and Kincaid. And now this is where Khalil Shakir can come in and work that middle. So those things are the things that I'm sitting here looking forward to. And this is a big game for these Bills, man, because right now, I'll tell you this, my man Z-Bob mentioned it in his last show, and it's just getting over this hump. You get over this hump. Wildcard is like week 1 to me. Week 1 of the season, sometimes you just don't know what's going to take place. It's just up and down. Nerves are there, all that. It's no different. But this is where the elite of the elite have to stand out. And this is where guys like Josh have to say, I've been here multiple times. I know what it takes. I've been here. This is what we do. This is why they paid me. This is why I'm one of the best in this game. This is where we got to get over the hump. This whole narrative that is out there, oh, Josh, if not now, when is he going to get it done? That's been a conversation. It's been a conversation happening for so long, right? When is it going to happen? If he doesn't do now, when is it going to happen? There is a little bit of truth to that. I'm going to keep it a buck. There is a little bit of truth to that. And I'll tell you why there's some truth to that, where if not now, when is he going to get it done? But it's not for the reasons that you think I'm going to mention, of because Joe Burrow's not here and Lamar Jackson's not here and Pat Mahomes. I don't give a rat's ass about that. That's the most, I hate that argument. And I think a lot of Bills fans are starting to show you, we hate that argument. You're not going up against these guys. You're going up against their defense, et cetera, et cetera. But for me is, if not now, when? It's the amount of time that Josh has been in the game now, right? He's been with the same head coach his whole career, right? Somewhat of the same system, a variation of the same system, right? His whole career. So this is one of those moments where you're like, fam, let's get it done. Let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. Because I don't want him to get the title of being a Phillip Rivers. Solid, competitor, all that stuff, but never getting it done. Getting so close often, having the roster sometimes to get it done, but always somebody in the way, right? It's not about who's out of the way. It's more so lock in, do what needs to be done, and let's get this thing back in. It's time. Josh is pushing 30. I can't believe I've even been saying that. Josh is pushing 30. Bro, you got to lock it in now. You know what I'm saying? You always hear, you know what I mean? Peyton Manning didn't get his until this time. And all these guys, I get that part. But I need my guy to get it right now. Right now. The storyline is right there for you, folks. Farewell to the season. Get that championship now. Open up. That's fairy book tale right there. Fairy book storytelling right there. We just got to get it done. So that being said, I need my guy to help me out on the Jacksonville Jaguars, because we got some things to talk about. I got worries about this Jacksonville Jaguars. I got respect for this team. Ladies and gentlemen, my Mr. Carl Jones, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my guy. What's going on, boss? You good?
I'm good. Like, for those who wondering why your boy rocking a turtleneck on a fine Tuesday evening, I'm on TV tonight, so I'm ripping and running. I ain't feel like changing. Y'all get to see the authentic real me. But I'm all good, man. How about you?
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna say my girl was kissing up on me, so I had to kind of have my neck a little bit.
Listen, I'm 27, big dog. I don't know. Lead after the high school.
On that. What's going on, baby? What's up? Let's go. Let's talk about this game, bro. Because Jacksonville Jaguars is a team that we have to respect. The Bills have to respect this squad. They've got some players on that squad. They got a quarterback. They got a run game. They got dogs at the receiver position. Their O-line is a solid O-line. Talk to me. They got a great offensive head coach / coordinator. Talk to me. What are you seeing, and what do you know about these Jacksonville Jaguars that could present challenges for the Bills? But I also ask, the Bills ain't ducking no smoke either, because they're bringing the smoke themselves. So what do the Bills bring that should worry the Jacksonville Jaguars? I don't know if you heard me there.
You said the Bills not ducking no smoke either, correct?
Yeah, Bills ain't ducking no smoke. So what do the Bills bring that the Jacksonville Jaguars should be like, I'm kind of worried about that. But what also the Jacksonville Jaguars bring to the Bills, where the Bills have to want to respect that and pay attention to?
Yeah, so let's start where some of the concerns, if you're a Bills fan, about what the Jags bring to the table. Let's go each side of the ball. The Jacksonville offense is super explosive, but I think the best part of their game right now has obviously been their passing game, and they have a really strong quartet of pass catchers. Brenton Strange, their tight end, Jacoby Myers, wide receiver, Parker Washington, and then obviously a name that everyone in Bills Mafia knows about, and Brian Thomas Jr., and they kind of fit in their own roles, and it fits like a glove. Brian Thomas Jr. is your vertical threat outside of the numbers, and maybe even post routes down the middle of the field. Jacoby Myers is your dirty work guy. He's going to get you your first downs. Parker Washington is somewhat similar, but has a little bit more sauce in that. Shout out Laura. What up, Laura? And then Brenton Strange is your yak threat as the tight end. He's also very athletic to be a guy that size. So if you are the Buffalo Bills, you got to make sure you're on your P's and Q's with that. Now, the Bills secondary has played phenomenal over the past, let's say, 2 months or so. They did have a hiccup against the Bengals, but I don't think these guys are the Bengals. I will put them in a class somewhere above the Patriots, but below the Bengals in terms of their passing game. And then on the other side of the ball, their defense, for my money, is one of the more fun defenses to watch schematically. Like, you guys have seen the Chiefs a lot, and when you watch the Chiefs, it's Steve Spagnuolo. They're creating up these exotic looks and pressures. Correct. They have a little bit of that. But then they also got a little bit of that Vic Fangio too, where we're going to live in those two high safeties no matter what you guys do on offense. So they're very multiple, they're very diverse, and they're super fun, and they're modern NFL defenses. So I think if you are the Buffalo Bills, you got to make sure that you run the rock, stay ahead of schedule. The run defense is stellar, but I still think you ride in on the horse that got you here. You feel me? And that's been James Cook, that's been his offensive line, and Josh Allen making plays after that. So I know that was a roundabout way of saying like the strengths and weaknesses. The one X factor that I will say, and I have a little bit of experience because I had to play Trevor twice in college. Trevor has one of the best arms in football. He has a rocket. He can hit every blade of grass. But what made him special back then, and we talked about it, and it still came to fruition during the game, he's a very creative player in terms of, yes, he can tuck it and run it, but he can also leave the pocket and still make things shake. And for, let's say, the first 4 years of his career with Urban Meyer and Doug Peterson, he felt very rigid, very robotic. Like he would only take off if he had to. He would try to be this pocket passer. I'm like, brother, you run like a 4.5. Why are you trying to act like you Tom Brady? This year, whatever Liam Coleman has done to give him that confidence, go back to that Chiefs game, right? That Chiefs Monday night game, I think that was, where he's making things shake. He leaving the pocket, running cats over. So if you're the Buffalo Bills, you got to make sure you contain him, keep him in the pocket, because he's found new life under Liam Coleman. He's this uber aggressive and confident player now, similar to how Justin Herbert is more of a different class of player now once John Harbaugh got to LA.
I'm looking at this opportunistic. That's the best way I can explain this. Opportunistic, Jaguars defense. They get after you. And they force turnovers. And that's the one thing that I've noticed about this defense is they will make you give that ball up. And when Josh turns the ball over, obviously, when anybody turns the ball over, things become dicey. When Josh secures the football and doesn't do any of that stuff, chances are the Bills are winning this game. So when I see that these guys have caused 22 interceptions, they've got 22 takeaways in the air, and I'm like, golly, okay, so these guys are very opportunistic. Now, you said it earlier, they're not Houston.
No.
Yeah, they don't got the dogs like Houston, but they get around the ball. I'm watching some of the games. These guys, they swarm. They swarm football. So how is Joe Brady gonna counter this swarming of this defense? They play as a unit. How, if you're a Joe Brady and Josh Allen, do you go about the same way you've been doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's screen pass here. You know the drill. I don't got to tell you to you. Yeah. Or do you feel like there's some wrinkles that we're about to see from these Bills that might surprise us?
I think if you are the Buffalo Bills, you run the ball, you get downhill. Now listen, the Jags may not be in terms of S tier talent. They're not the Texans. They don't have Will Anderson Jr. and Derek Stingley and Daniil Hunter. They're not the Broncos. They're not the Seattle Seahawks, who have been playing amazing. But they have a bunch of B to A minus, maybe if you want to call Josh Hines that, players who play banshees. So I think that you take the fight to them. You run the rock, a lot of play action. Their corners are surprisingly not last year when they played the Bills. It was just you get a touchdown, it was like the Oprah Winfrey show in terms of how everyone was getting open. Greg Newsome, who went down there via trade from Cleveland, he's been a solid player, nothing stellar, but I think that, quite frankly, everyone looks like a much better cornerback when they play the Buffalo Bills. So if I'm Joe Brady, I figure out ways to attack them, whether it is via play action, whether it is James Cook. I'm not big on the screens this week because the Jags actually do a phenomenal job of tackling in space. And to be fair, this time of year, every team you play is going to tackle in space.
No doubt.
You're playing the best teams in football.
No doubt.
If this anecdotally, if you were to think about those games where the screen passes were working, it was the Saints or the Dolphins or the teams who don't have no desire to tackle. I promise to you, to sweet baby Jesus, the Jacksonville Jaguars want to tackle.
So I'm looking at this Jaguar squad, and the one thing that stood out to me, and I see some folks that are trying to downplay it, but I can't ignore it. That Jacksonville run defense, they're not a team that they're easily going to be run all over. Right now, they're number 5 in the league at keeping guys at 4 yards a pop, 3.9 yards a pop. That's number 1. Number 2. They're keeping guys running at 85 yards a game, under 90 yards rushing per game. Now, that's impressive. You got to give it to them. But at the same time, what reminds me of, we faced the Cleveland Browns, right? We faced the New England Patriots that have a pretty decent run defense. And the Bills continue to do those very things. Where is it that these Jacksonville Jaguars are going to try to slow us down? It has to be James Cook. One would say they're going to put all their eggs in the basket on James Cook. What say you? Because they're coming with that number 1 defense in terms of stopping the run. But one thing I also noticed as well is this is a team, not only are they opportunistic, like I was talking about, but they get after it. So what is it that they've got to do to, I guess, take some pressure off of James Cook? Where is it going to come from?
I think I'm going to just summarize it for you.
Yeah.
Whoever wins first and second down is going to win the football game, because I think that one team is dying to get freaky on third down and do some creative things, and the other team is scared to sweet baby Jesus of anything 3rd and 8 or longer. The Bills don't want to be in 3rd and 8 or longer. They just can't. Right. They don't have the weapons to do it. They don't have the personnel to live in that world, and you're putting a lot of stress on your offensive tackles when the defensive ends can just hunt. But then the Jacksonville Jaguars are a team that has a lot of creative stuff that you can only use on 3rd and long. I remember a coach telling me, I might have said it on here before, he was like, "Hey, Jones, what's the best play call on 3rd and 1? I'm thinking. He said, there is no good play call on 3rd and 1. So, if you are the Buffalo Bills, all that funky, exotic stuff that they like to do on their pressure packages on 3rd down, they can't do it if it's always 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and you're staying ahead of the sticks. So the Bills can't afford to take pre-snap penalties. No procedural stuff, no false starts, no offsides, nothing of it, no illegal formations. You don't want to take ill-advised sacks. You don't want to do it. You don't want to get hit behind the line of scrimmage. If it's a clean game where the Buffalo Bills are always ahead of the sticks, even with a stout run D like the Jacksonville Jaguars possess, I think they'll be able to play the game on their terms. Now, if you were to tell me that the Bills have 9 penalties and they get hit 3 times behind the line of scrimmage, I could almost guarantee you they're going to lose this football game.
So you mentioned the penalties, and we've got to stay clean. We can't have these drive-killing penalties. I'm looking at this Jacksonville Jaguars team. They're one of the most penalized teams in the league. I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but they're getting about 7, almost 8 penalties per game. Yardage, they're giving up 63 yards of penalty yards per game, which ranks them 30th. So they're near dead last in terms of what I guess most would call disciplined football. So this is where I'm thinking the Bills got to make sure that they take full advantage of this defensively and offensively, because this team what you would think with the numbers that they're presenting give me undisciplined. And this is where we got to take advantage of those errors where we cannot make them. We've got to allow these Jacksonville Jaguars to make them. Now, I want to flip it. Let's flip it to the offensive side of the ball because I know I got some time with you. So let's go Josh. Josh has got that bum ankle. Josh is getting his boy Kincaid back. I was talking about it earlier, so I want to get your thoughts on that. How big a difference is Kincaid going to make to this offense and open things up?
It's a huge difference because they don't have a lot. Like, in a vacuum, I don't think Dawson Kincaid is some difference-making player. But on a team that doesn't have a lot, you will take anybody who's at least a solid player. Kind of slots everyone, I don't want to say in the right roles, but it adds another player who has some juice in the vertical passing game, especially over the middle of the field. He looked healthy in that Week 18 against the New York Jets, which is all that I think anyone wanted to see. It's just like, how does he move out there on the field? The Jags linebackers are great, but I believe they've allowed, I want to say, the 6th most yards to tight ends this season. And now some of that is a function of how they play defense. They'll much rather funnel it to those guys as opposed to the guys on the perimeter. Interested, though, because the Bills don't have guys on the perimeter, so I want to know how that works. But it's going to be huge. This team has played much better when Dawson Kincaid is in the lineup as opposed to when he's been on the sideline and in warmups. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very huge, and he's obviously a player that Josh Allen trusts.
Bulletin board material. What are your thoughts on bulletin board material, and is it a thing, right? I'm sorry, you play ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got people, you got some boys on the squad or whichever. So Vegas has the Bills as the favorite, right? They're the guys that are favorite to win this game. And Jackson was looking at this like, say word, we're the home team and y'all got us as the underdog. How much of do you find that these in the playoff scenarios, these give teams momentum, or is that all hogwash? Play ball within the lines and call it a day, or do you find that there's some merit to these type of things that Vegas will do?
Yeah, I don't know. The first 5 or 6 snaps of the game, you maybe have a little bit more juice, a little bit more pep in your step because you remember it. But I used to always hate the bulletin board material conversation because if I'm in the middle of the third quarter thinking about X or Vegas as opposed to my assignment on 3rd and 5, well, then I lost. And I just always hated that argument. I wanted to win. I didn't care about none of that other stuff. Like, I don't need any external motivation to move me forward. I wanted to. And at this point in the year, the Buffalo Bills or the Jacksonville Jaguars, for that matter, they should want to win because they are inherently some of the most insane competitors on the planet. Anyone who is willing to put a helmet on and get hit at 20 miles per hour, you are legit insane. So no one cares, or you shouldn't care about bulletin board material, this, that, and the third. So sure, it gives you a little boost when you're around the building throughout the week, get a little bit more pep in your step. You know, you see that. And guys might post it all over the locker room or whatever. I've seen that. We've done that. But that wear off after, like, I don't know, the first 3 and out. Like, after that, like, man, after that, the sidelines ain't talking about that. You know what we talking about? All right, bro, on 3rd and 3, when the tackle is off and you know, the tight end is in a Y formation, how do we make sure that we, you know, that's how it's really going.
So I'm watching the Bills head off. They do their kumbaya, you know what I'm saying, waving goodbye to the stadium. Did Carl Jones have a moment in the stadium where he was a little choked up? You know what I'm saying? Somebody was cutting onions. Did you have a moment to yourself in that farewell game?
No, I told everybody, I said, listen, I appreciate the moment of what everyone else is going through, whether it's the stadium workers who have been there for 53 years, whether it is the players, the coaches. But I don't have that same type of emotional attachment to Highmark Stadium. It is the first NFL team that I've covered, so that is cool. But like, it will be selfish of me for me to put myself in those guys' shoes when a lot of those guys that got their career started there. Like, what to me, it was just a place where I came to work every Sunday. Obviously, it was a cool day. I'm forever grateful that I was able to be a part of that day. But nah, Carl did not get choked up or emotional.
No choked up. All right, cool.
Carl went about his day and reported the news.
got to business. All right. So speaking of going about their day, we had an opportunity to watch our guys say farewell and all that, but there were some guys that limped off the field. And one of the biggest worries and frustrations that Bills have right now is the fact that Max Hairston, first-round draft pick, out again. Obviously, an unfortunate injury. Now we're in a predicament. we're in a predicament. We're down to Trey White as well as Christian Benford. How much of a blow, how big a blow is this to the defensive backfield now having your depth corner, but he did get some playing time. They did kind of rotate these guys in and out, but it seems as though Trey White was eventually getting more of the snaps. But how big a blow is Max Harrison to his team not being there? It gives me the vibe of when it was Benford going out and then Kyer having to come in, and you don't want those scenarios. What say you?
I think it's more so. I think it's insurance at this point in the year. I truly do. Trey White has played, in my opinion, better than Max, and I can't believe I'm even saying that, considering how I talked about Trey on this platform 5 months ago. But I think he's been the much better cornerback, even though Max has made some more splash plays. When you just watch the film and watch him down in and down out, Trey has been far more consistent. But yes, listen, Christian Benford has left both the last 2 playoffs with concussions. Now that I'm knocking on wood, Bills Mafia, don't cuss me out. But like you guys have seen how it goes in the postseason when you lose CB, and that depth hurts. So I think it hurts from that perspective if one of these guys were to go down. But I don't think this passing defense, which has been top 10 for the better part of 2 months, automatically drops down to like 18th or something like that. No, I still think it's a darn good secondary.
It's a tough one because I'm looking at the receivers that will be facing. I'm not saying that they're all world beaters, but they've got athletes on that squad, and they all do their part well. You have one guy that does take the top off the defense. You have one that will do like you said, my man Myers will do the dirty work, right? Braxton Strange, he ain't strange to nothing but the end zone. Like, listen, that brother is nice. Like, you can play him all over the field. So they've got some weapons. And this is where the Bills and McDermott are going to have to get exotic. Babbage going to have to kind of confuse, if you will. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been in this game long enough where he's seen quite a few things. He's got an offensive coordinator that's got him ready to go. So that in itself will be a battle that I'll be very much looking forward to. Now, I'll have you for a little bit of time. So we Max Harrison being out, Bills going up into this game. Now there's this big conversation, right? We talked about it last week a little bit, but I'm going to get you more because it's ramping up, right? All the big quarterbacks are gone, right? You see it. I'm tired of it too. Trust me. But there is a conversation to be had when we're talking about Josh and the Bills, and this is your opportunity.
Right.
What say you to the fans that are saying, no, you know what? Forget about these other quarterbacks, but it's time for Josh to get his. It's time. Right? You got the experience, you've got the head coach, you've got some key pieces that can get you over the top, but you're Josh Allen. Is there a lot more pressure on Josh and these Bills, or Duval winning their division and they got the 8-game win streak? Who comes in with a lot more pressure into this game?
I mean, it will have to be the Buffalo Bills. I mean, Liam Cohen has been a resounding home run hire in year 1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 8 months ago, everyone was like, should they move off the Trevor Lawrence contract? Now it's like, holy cow, Trevor's playing at a top 8 clip over the past 2 months. So I think I'm not going to say house money because that's disrespectful to how the Jags have played over the last 2 months. But win, lose, or draw Sunday, there's a lot of momentum for them going forward. The Buffalo Bills will always have this intrinsic pressure, though, because you have the MVP. You have a quarterback who, if they don't get it done this year, this will be 7 straight years, that they go to the postseason and they don't even reach the final game. Not win it, but even reach the game. So I think there is some pressure. But I'm not in the camp of like when people say like, oh, the other big 3 aren't there. I would make the argument if the big 3 were in the playoffs this year, that the Bills would be heavy favorites over all of those teams. So like that doesn't move me. Like, am I supposed to be moved that the Bengals that Joe Burrow isn't in the playoffs, even though if Joe Burrow was in the playoffs, I would think the Bills are a significantly better team in 2026. So like, I'm not here for that conversation. Yeah. Do I think the playoff field is stellar? No, I don't. But I'm not here for Lamar doesn't beat. I've said it on several platforms before. The Baltimore Ravens are a much easier matchup for the Bills than Jacksonville. Full stop. I saw that Baltimore team play for 5 months.
You saw it.
I saw the same team. So that's how I feel about it. But I will say this, and the final thing before I log off, because it's been something that I've been sitting on, and I know a lot of Bills fans have, and I want to make this so clear because you know how I feel about fans.
No doubt.
I love fans because I'm a fan myself of certain teams. and we make this. We're all part of the same ecosystem. Okay,
Yep.
we all are part of this ecosystem that makes sports so fun. But in my opinion, not being a fan of Josh Allen, and I'm just trying my best to be a neutral observer, I think he has a hell of an opportunity in front of him. When I think about, you listen to the narratives, the naysayers, when they say he doesn't have X, Y, and Z around him, the team isn't stellar, head coach holding him back, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. I think of the players who have stamped their legacies in this sport in this same exact situation. I want to make this abundantly clear. Yep. Josh is amazing to me, regardless if they win the Super Bowl or if they lose by 50 to the Jags. I want to make that so dang clear, and y'all can clip that. But can I riddle you Tom Brady on the back half of when Gronk wasn't in the postseason, he always banged up, and he had Chris Hogan and a bunch of lacrosse players at wide receiver and then a slot receiver, and they led them to the Super Bowl 5 straight years. What did that do for his legacy? How much did he get on like how much did that stamp him? Can I riddle you Patrick Mahomes in 2023 and 2024 when he had Marquez Valdez, Stanley Kadarius Toney, and Sky Morris as 3 best receivers? What did that do for his legacy? And I think that, once again, Josh is stamped and he's great, but what would it do for his legacy, for that narrative, if 20 years from now you look at the Wikipedia page and you say, damn, he was throwing to them? And I think that's where it's so exciting, it's exhilarating. And to where, as a fan, I would have died to cover those back-end Patriots team, because in the moment, holy cow, I'm covering a GOAT. Or those Chiefs teams the past 3 years where you're like, holy cow, this is something. It would be like Bron carrying the Cavs in 15. Like,
absolutely.
Whoa.
I was just about to say.
Or like when the Jordan in 98 when Pippen had got a broken back and all that good. Like, there are certain moments that transcend just the building where it goes, this is going to be folklore. And I don't think the Bills are an inherently bad team, but the narrative is that the receivers suck. Man, it'd be dope if 17 could rise above it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Jones just dropped the mic on us. He's got to go to work. He's got to do his thing. We appreciate you. Listen, we still got another week of this. So are we sitting with anybody right now, or is everybody locked in for playoffs? There ain't no sitting. Everybody's locked in. What's going on with Carl Jones for the rest of the week?
Listen, Carl is busy as hell over the next week. Going to be sitting down with Dion for 5 questions, chopping it up with him. He's played the Jags, obviously that Urban Meyer game, and then the first game after the drought. So he has a unique perspective on going down to Duval. And then for those, my podcast, Mafia Huddle, if you live in the Western New York area, is going to be on TV Thursday at 7 o'clock. Make sure y'all lock into that. If not, it's going to be on all platforms. I'm going to post it out this week. Bills kickoff live for those in the Western New York area. Or now I know it goes out to other parts of New York, but
busy boy.
Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. We got 3 BKLs for you. My show's an hour long. We busy. We busy. I'll have Dion. I'm gonna holla at Spencer Brown too, because he got some playoff experience. We're gonna be out and about. Listen, it's a busy week for all of us and all of us in this space. But I think what all of us do makes this week and the playoffs so special.
Last one for me before you get out of here.
Yeah.
The Bills aren't playing in cold weather. They're going to warm weather.
Yeah.
Does this give the Bills a bit of an edge over Jacksonville? Or is Jacksonville like, yo, we playing this? You coming to us? Or do you find that there's going to be a bit of an edge to the Bills not having to play in this weather? Now they can play freely, and now let's roll.
I don't know how much merit there is into like cold, warm, but I will say this, and Bills Mafia don't want to hear it. The Jags may have one of the more dangerous players on planet Earth in Cam Little. If he had to play in Orchard Park, I don't think he's hitting 67-yard field goals. You said good weather down in Florida. He just hit a 67-yard field goal. So I don't know how much cold or warm affects either team, but it 100% affects the kicker, who literally just kicked it halfway across America against the Titans on Sunday.
My man, ladies and gentlemen, my man Carl Jones. Do not forget, I always tell y'all, go follow my guy Carl Jones. Jones11_ on X. Go show him some love. This boy should be at 50,000 followers, and y'all tripping, man. So Carl, I appreciate you, my G, and we'll definitely keep in touch, man. You're gonna be a busy boy, man. Go get your money.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be back next Tuesday. Win, lose, or draw, baby. Y'all be safe.
Yes, sir. We'll talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my boy Carl to the Jones. And I'm gonna say something, man. There was something that he mentioned that I wanted to touch on, and I'm so glad that he touched on it, because this is why I mentioned where's the pressure? Is the pressure more on Josh Allen or is it on Trevor Lawrence, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars, because they're red hot, they're the number 3 seed, and they're going to let the number 6 seed come in. I mean, there's all those storylines that are happening. But really, when I mentioned earlier that there comes a time where enough is enough, right? Earlier I was saying, this is year 7. You're pushing 30, my G, right? This is where you're still in that window of your prime. You got to nail it down now. And what better way and when is the best time than not now? What better time than now? And what it does for a guy like Josh Allen, it just adds to his legacy. You know what I'm saying? It adds to what these young kids are calling aura. If that boy goes out and rips off 4 straight, we'll say 3 straight road victories right into Santa Monica or wherever it was, Santa Clara, West Coast, boy, he's already on his way to Hall of Fame. Now that puts him in elite status with some of the big dogs, because stats aside, this game sometimes is it's built on legacy. What did you do when you were on the field? What did you do when the lights were shining the brightest? You don't have, you know what I'm saying, all the shiny toys next to you. Fine. But if you have the light, shine it on your boys. Shine it on those guys so they can do what they're supposed to do, right? If you're not shining, Josh, nothing goes anywhere. Nobody sees a thing. But if my man is shining bright, like he is the star that he is, the legacy lives on forever. Buddy, he's already a star in Buffalo. He becomes legend in Buffalo when he can rip off 3 straight wins. And what better matchup than to do it against a red-hot Trevor Lawrence and these Jacksonville Jaguars, right? Some folks might say, you know what, maybe it's not their time, or maybe it's the Bills' time. Maybe it's Josh Allen's time. This is the time that you can stamp your legacy, like my man Carl Jones said, and really just do it. Just put it together and make that epic run. Kind of like when my man LeBron James was on the Cleveland Cavaliers, bro. Nobody was looking at that team, right? But LeBron was the light, and he was feeding his boys and making sure that they're in proper position. But when push came to shove, Bron took over. So when push comes to shove, JA-17's got to get it done. Is he nicked up? You got some guys nicked up? Absolutely. But they feed off of guys like Josh Allen. And if Josh Allen is beasting, bro, how do you watch your boy beast and you sit here hands crossed up? Nah, bro, I want some of that too. And this is where this is going to be so amazing in this epic run. Like some folks are nervous, and as they should be. But I've got a nervous excitement about this game, because I feel something good is going to take place. I feel something good is going to transpire on the road. And that's the way to do it, right? We've had the luxuries of having these home games in the playoffs, and it's done great things for us. But the ultimate result ended the same, right? Us packing our bags and going home. So what better way to pack your stuff now, because we ain't going home. We're on the road, and we ain't unpacking until we get to Santa Clara, you know what I'm saying, on the West Coast, so we can handle business and properly bring that NFL Lombardi back to Buffalo. That would be that. Listen, we all know what's good. We all understand what's at stake here. And the beautiful thing is, not everybody's got a Josh Allen on their squad. We happen to have that guy. Let's roll, baby. Like, what are we waiting for? This is that moment. So this is where everybody's got to lock in, understand what's at stake here. Rookies be damned. I don't care if you're a rookie. Come in and handle business. Football is football. Come in, strap up, put that helmet on, and let's buck heads. First opponent on the road to Jacksonville. Let's handle business. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm waiting for this, man. I'm excited for it. So nervousness, yeah, you're nervous for your squad. Of course, you don't want your team going home, but you know when 17 straps up and he's ready to go, that's a hard brother to beat down. That's a hard brother to bring down. Let's roll. So that being said, love it. I love every moment of it. Like I'm looking forward to watching these guys go. And when it comes to pressure on Jacksonville or pressure on the Bills, and you know what? Take the pressure. Embrace the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Be like Bane from Batman, man. Like, yo, I don't. He lives in the dark. That's where he thrives, bro. So if Josh got to go there and be in that darkness where he thrives, bro, turn on that star, bro. Turn it up, turn on. Watch your boy see what you do, and let's roll. Let's rack it up and just rack these wins, man. It starts off this weekend in Jacksonville. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a goodie. All right. Next up on my docket is the defense. Just scrolling through my notes here. Defense. Because I'm looking at this Jacksonville Jaguar squad and looking at where they rank. So offensively, they are a number 6 scoring offense. They're scoring 27.9 points a game, right? Yards per game, they're just shy of the top 10. They're sitting at 337 yards per game, top 10. They're 11th.
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
In the game right now, right? When you're looking at yards per play, 5.2, the middle of the park at 18, give or take. Okay. Third down conversions. And this is where the Bills defensively can find ways, right? These guys are converting at a 39% rate, which is 19th in the game. So there's opportunity to kick these guys off the field and giving the ball back to Josh and this offense. So this is where I'm looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. And defensively, this is where we're going to have to show confusion. We're going to have to get that pass rush coming, which I'm going to get in that just a little bit. But they can be had. I'm looking at their weaknesses, if you will. They can be had in getting these guys off the field. They're clipping at a 39% conversion rate on third down. But they're also top 5 in touchdowns per game, right? Obviously, that's synonymous with points per game. They're putting up 3 touchdowns per game, right? That's ranked number 5. When you're looking at that Jacksonville defense, so it's a good defense overall, right? 19.8 yards per game. 19.8 points per game. That's ranked 8th in the game. Okay. So we've all seen it. When the Bills are scoring less than 20, 23 points or so, it's usually not great, right? Bills are 25 and over. You're looking at a good victory margin for the Bills. So right now, Jacksonville's defense is keeping their opponents to a relatively solid points per game at 19. That's a top 10 defense in terms of points, right? They're at 303. They're ranked 11th and allowing 300 yards per game, just a touch over 300 yards per game. That's ranked 11th in the game, right? Opponent yards per game, 8th in the game, 5 yards per play allowing their opponents. So this is where they're going to pose some challenges for this Bills offense. So I'm hoping that these Bills can start off quickly. We cannot have this game where we start off poorly, slowly, and we're not converting, and we're allowing these guys to just march up the field and go up 7 on us. And now we're in this catch-up mode. So I'm hoping that we don't fall into that type of game where we start quickly. Like, how great would it be if these Bills come in and we're one of the best teams in the game in starting early and putting points on the board? I think we led the league in opening drive touchdowns. So if we can get into that mode and put the pressure on Jacksonville and away we go, that would do dividends for us. Now, defensively, I'm going to stick on our defensive side of the ball. Running the football. They're okay at running the football, okay? 4 yards a rush. That's ranking them near the bottom of the league at 27th in the game. 4 yards per pop. That's fantastic. Now, the Bills' run defense isn't the greatest. So this is where which defense is going to show up? The 1 to 11 games, right? From week 1 to week 11 or week 12 on? Because right now, from week 12 on, we've been one of the best defenses in stopping the run, best defenses in stopping the pass, and we've been damn good. We were actually a top 10 defense as of week 12 on. So we've got momentum on our side. So hopefully, Shaq Thompson being in the middle of that defense, and obviously Matt Milano, this gives us a big boost on putting an edge on stopping the run. So we want to keep that up. These guys are running for 115 yards per game. That ranks them number 20th in the game. So those are the things that we want to pay attention to. Now, obviously, we already know what time it is when it comes to Trevor Lawrence. He's one of the best in the game right now. And statistically, we know. I mean, I think damn near threw for 4,000 yards, 30-plus touchdown passes. So he had a solid year. All right? But this is the big one that I want to show you guys. And we were talking about it earlier, and I mentioned it to my man Carl Jones. These guys are penalized. They're one of the more penalized teams in this game. So this is where we must find ways to stay disciplined on our end and take advantage of the errors that they may present to us. So we've got to strike. So those are the where I'm sitting at watching where these Bills can take full advantage, right? So with the momentum that we have defensively, we can slow down that run, force these guys into the 3rd and long, because their third downs, they're converting on a 39% rate. That's middle of the pack in the 20s. So this is where we can get that ball back to Josh and allow Josh to create and put pressure on this team. It's there. It's right there for us. So it's very possible. So I just wanted to drop a couple stats for you guys just to kind of give you an idea of where we're at. And that's where I'm looking at. I'm looking at the chat right now to see if there's any questions coming in. And let me jump in with my man. Oh, my man P Money's in the building. What up, here? What's happening, baby? My man said, yo, chat, make sure Rico doesn't go scary mode. Nah, bro, I'm on my I feel good right now, bro. I feel good. Am I nervous? Hell yeah, I'm nervous. Hell yeah. Wildcard weekend brings the nerves up. But, bro, my man Dion Dawkins used to say, man, yo, kill or be killed. Which one you gonna be? Kill or be killed, man. 17, this is one of those legacy moments, legacy playoff run, right? So funny that I bring this up because I was just messing around. Twitter is a funny place, I'll tell you. Twitter's a funny place. So I'm on X, right? And yesterday I'm just scrolling around. I'm like, yo, we're the 6th seed. I'm like, how many 6 seeds have like really done it in the league? I mean, not even the 6 seed, like 7 seed is just recent. So, I mean, 7 seed came in what? 2020, 2021 season? I can't remember when they came in, but 7 seeds haven't done it yet. They haven't won a Super Bowl. I'm like, and I'm looking at all the 1st and 2nd seed teams that have gone to the playoffs. I was looking at and what got me into this was looking at the 90s Bills and what seed they were. And they were always ranked, 1 or 2 seed. But they were facing guys that were 1 or 2 seed as well. And I was like, man, we went to the bowl 4 times. And it gets you thinking. Then I was like, how many teams have won the Super Bowl as a 5th seed or a 6th seed. And it got me thinking. And I'm like, all right, so there's been 2 teams that have won it as a 5th seed and 2 teams that have won it as a 6th seed. So I was like, yo, so it's not like the odds aren't there. They're there for us. I mean, it doesn't happen often because most teams that are winning it are usually the 1 and 2, 3 seeds, give or take. So where do the Bills fall into this? So as I'm messing around and I'm looking at the numbers, so I started kind of doing a little bit of homework. Nothing large. But one thing I do notice about Bills fans is when you're trying to kind of find an edge, if you will, or something that can kind of keep your I guess your hopes up for your team, you got folks poking holes at every little thing. But that's social media for you, right? You can post that you got an A on an assignment. Somebody's like, yo, well, why didn't you get the A+? Or you can tell them the sky is blue. It's like, it's not blue. It's like light blue, but there's always something, right? So as I'm looking at these numbers, right, I'm just kind of, and I'm like, yo, there's been some 5th seeds and 6th seeds that have won this squad. Who were those teams? And who was quarterbacking these teams? So I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh shit, Brady was a 5th seed when he took the Bucks to the Super Bowl. Was a 5th seed. They were 2nd in the division, and he took his boys all the way to the Super Bowl and won that B. That was in 2020. Do you remember the epic Giants 07 team against the Patriots that year? The Giants were a 5th seed, 2nd in the NFC East. My boy Manning took these boys, they backed into that playoffs and ran it and took the bowl. Roethlisberger, 2005. That brother was that's a 6th seed, right? Rodgers, 2010, Aaron Rodgers, 6th seed. So, and these teams that took their team to win this bowl, they weren't the, you know what I'm saying? They had some flaws along the way, but they all had momentum going into their playoffs, right? The Bills got 4 straight wins. Then obviously we lost to the Eagles, and that was a blow. And then we got back into the win column. So we got we got the momentum of learning how to win again, right? Because we were inconsistent. We were winning and losing. And then finally, these boys come in, and we got some momentum. So Brady, Manning, Roethlisberger, Rodgers, 5th and 6th seeds, their teams were better than where they were seated, right? Except for maybe the Giants, right? Elite quarterback, a little bit of momentum going into it, and there were playoff built teams ready to go, right? They had some guys on the squad that had some playoff experience. Josh Allen, McDermott's been there before, right? You got DaQuan Jones that's been around. Trey White on the squad, right? Milano's been with us some time. So we got some guys on this team that's got some playoff experience. Bro, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, you know what? Maybe the Bills not getting the number 1 seed, cool. You didn't get the 2 seed. You didn't get the 3 seed. Damn it, you're the 6th seed. Let them think that you're the 6th seed, because you certainly don't have a quarterback that gives you 6 seed. Doesn't have a roster that gives you 6 seed. So watch these Bills come out and handle business from the 6th seed. Why not? You can have the number 1 seed. You can have the 2 seed. You can have the 3 seed. Bro, we will quietly do what we need to do with our playoff-ready roster. We ain't elite, but we got some guys that know what to do. We got an elite quarterback. We got a good head coach. Bro, we got a little momentum going our way, and right now we're the 6th seed. Ain't nobody looking at the 6th seed? Bro, let's go in and run this freaking table off the road. On the road, 3 straight wins to take it to the bowl. That's why I'm thinking, bro, this would be an epic time for Josh Allen to build on his resume, be that dude in the 6th seed, and run it. I don't give a rat's ass that Burrow's not there, Lamar's not there, or my man Pat Mahomes not there. You know why they're not there? Because they were battle tested for this, man. This year, their squad wasn't good enough. The roster's here. We made the playoffs. You're in the dance. Let's roll. Why not? This is that time right now, man. So Manning, ain't nobody was looking at Manning. They're looking at the 07. Man, get out of here, man. We know Manning's good, but they ain't gonna do it. Rodgers, a young Rodgers, man. Right? They're looking at yo Tom Brady, man. He washed. He's 44 years old, man. Man, get out of here with that. What does he do? Epic run. Let's roll. And guess what? Josh Allen gets his tight end back. Josh Allen's got his boy James Cook, the Russian leader. You know what I'm saying? The O-line is intact. Dion Dawkins, you already know what's... Yo, all we got to do offensively is handle our business, put some points on the board. Defense, be opportunistic. Get the turnovers when we need to get the turnovers. Let's keep it a buck here, folks. When the defense needed to get the football back, they've done it time and time and time again. Are we elite? No, we all know that. But when we need to get the football back to Josh, we do. This is where Josh can build off his legacy. Hey, defense, just give me the ball back. Give me the ball back. I'll do what we do. These boys will be ready. My boy Kincaid is back. Let's roll. Why not? Why not, baby? Let's go, man. Let me get my own. You feel me? So I'm excited. That's why I'm jacked up. That's why I'm excited. I'm not saying Jacksonville's not a good squad. They are. They're a damn good squad, right? They're where they're at for a reason. But I remember when we were coming in hot. I remember when the Bills were the 2020 Bills, the 2021 Bills, the 2022 Bills, the 2023 Bills. Bro, we were coming in hot for real. What happened? We got Sam Packing. So you know what? I'm not saying teams are overlooking us per se. I'm not saying that they're saying, you know what I mean? We don't know what this team's going to be. Listen, all I'm saying is I got Josh. I got a head coach that, you know what I'm saying, he knows what's at stake. He knows what time it is. He knows what he's supposed to do. Yo, let's get it done, baby. Let's get it done, man. I ain't trying to hear anything else. I ain't trying to hear anything else. Let's get this motherfucking thing done. Oh my God. I try not to cuss, man. I'm trying not to cuss. I surprise myself. Sometimes I get a little hype. I gotta calm myself. I gotta calm my black ass down. All right. But folks, that's how I'm looking at it. So I'm not tripping. I'm ready. Shit, you give me a helmet, man. Give me a helmet. Find me a spot. Find me a spot. Now, this is what I find funny about all this is when the only reason I put up those things was to kind of say, hey, like Manning, Brady, Roethlisberger, you know what I'm saying? Like what you know what I'm saying? You got Rodgers. They were all teams that were okay, 5th, 6th seed. I mean, most of those 5th, 6th seeds get bounced out by the 3rd seed. I don't think it's gonna happen this time, baby. I think we're gonna add to that list of the Bills being the 6th seed that run the table and get to the Super Bowl. We're due. We're due. Are we not? We are due. Love to see it. All right. Listen, you know me. I don't like doing that, man. I don't like dropping that F-bomb. I've done a very good job of refraining from that because that's not, you know what I mean? I've turned over a new leaf. You guys know that. You guys know that. So that being said, this is a big one. Like I said, man, the Jags are going to be war ready for this, but the Bills are not ducking no smoke. We want all the smoke. We want all the smoke. We run to the smoke. And I think that's what's going to take place, man. That's what we're going to take place. You can grill all you want and all that stuff, bro. Listen, don't let us be Debo. Grab your stuff and give it a grill too. I'm just saying. Now, I got to go back to the Jags because I have a tremendous amount of respect for the Jags. Parker Washington, that boy can play. 95 targets this year. Brian Thomas Jr., 91. Those are the two big boys that are targeted heavily for this offense. And then you can't sleep on Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers just joined the team not too long ago. This guy's got 61 targets. Out of his 61 targets, this brother's caught 42 balls for these guys. 9 games played. So they're going to be airing that football around. This is where defensively we're going to have to be on our game. Will they run the football? Of course they will. They're going to try to keep us honest. But the one thing that I will say defensively, and I was talking about defensively, what we should do, we have to treat Trevor Lawrence like we treat Lamar Jackson. And most folks are going to be like, well, what are you talking about? Bro, if you think that he's just a quarterback that stands in the pocket and will not run, he will. This guy is a damn good athlete. He will do what Josh Allen does to teams that just get sick, right? So let's not sleep on Mr. Trevor Lawrence himself. Trevor Lawrence this year ran the ball 82 times for 359 yards. This guy ran for 9 rushing touchdowns this year. Let's not get it twisted. This guy is a very good quarterback. there was a moment where I'm like, man, I think this guy's washed, bro. I think he's overrated. I don't think he's as nice as he thinks he is. I just don't see it. Liam Cohen was like, let me show you. And now we're seeing the true Trevor Lawrence that these boys drafted to make him the franchise leader. And he's looked the part this year. He's absolutely looked the part this year. Trevor Lawrence, 60% completion percentage, threw for 4,000 yards right on the dot, 29 passing touchdowns, and put up another 9 rushing touchdowns. Impressive. Those are Josh Allen numbers. Right? Those are Josh Allen type numbers. And he put another 359 rushing touchdowns. 359 yards rushing. So right now, Travis Etienne is their lead back. Obviously, 260. They don't really do the whole sharing of carries, but neither do the Bills, right? So those are the things that we do have to keep in mind. We got to treat Trevor Lawrence like we treat Lamar Jackson, because Lamar is dangerous with his legs, but he's always looking to pass first. That is Trevor Lawrence. He can be dangerous with his legs, and if we're not disciplined enough, and the biggest thing that we've been doing, and I'm sure if they're watching film, they're going to see it, we tend to lose our contain. There's been multiple games where we've seen Epinesa scrape along by, Greg Rousseau or Joey Bosa scrape along by and leave contain wide open. Nobody's in contain. So we've got to treat this guy like we treat Lamar Jackson. No joke about it. That's the real. So I bring this to your attention because that's going to be a crucial part of this game. And I don't know what Joe Brady has planned, but if Joe Brady is going to have the game of his career, this is the one. And then we'll ask for him to do it again when we reach the Super Bowl. But we got to get this one. This one's a big one. Get that monkey off your back. You got me sounding like Steve Young. Get that monkey off my back. Get that monkey off your back and get into your bag. And let's get something cracking, because I saw some things, and I hope Josh saw it. When Mitch Trubisky was going up against that Jets defense, bro, that boy was slinging that thing. He was slinging that thing left and right. I get it. He was going up against the Jets defense that was piss poor. It wasn't the point. The point was the ball was in Trubisky's hands, rolled out. He was there and he was delivering. He was getting rid of the football. You did not see Trubisky sitting there holding on and looking and, oh, I don't see it. Let me run this way. And then let me run this way. There was none of that. It was boom, decisive, get the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them do what they do. You saw what happened. The boy threw for 4 touchdown passes. So I'm hoping that Josh was able to kind of like sit back and be like, shoot, like, I'm making this thing too hard for myself. Just get rid of the ball and do what I got to do. And if I need to open the vest up and let the S out, that's what I'm going to do. That's the way I look at it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these Bills do this weekend. It's a 1:00 game. And what greater feeling to have when we play the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1 p.m., the Bills secure their victory, and we can watch the rest of the afternoon carefree. Oh, what a great feeling that is. What a great feeling that is. That's what I'm looking forward to. Man, oh, man, oh, man. All right, let me get some comments before I get out of here. My man Maxwell being ruled out sucks. It does, man. I really wanted that brother to play. But I'll say this, man. One thing that I really do like is the fact that our guy Trey White's been playing some good ball. He's been playing some good football. Just stay healthy, and we roll with how we got to roll. We roll with how we got to roll, man. So let's see how this plays out. Let's go to the super chat, and then I'm going to jump into some comments before I get out of here. Jeff King, my guy. What up, Jeff? Jeff says, can we put the family friendly aside for one night? And folks, if you're a Bills fan right now, right? F them Jags. Ooh, you listen, I said those words and not those words, but you know what I'm saying? I'm saying F them Jags too. We got to go in and roll. Man. And right now, they truly do feel, and as they should, that they're on the same level of playing field as the Bills, right? They may not have the playoff experience the Bills do, but they're coming in saying, hey, if we're going to make a statement, why not make a statement against these Buffalo Bills? That's what they're coming in to do. That's why I love sports. I love this game, because everybody's trying to knock your block off. And the respect you gain is when you defend your block, defend your dirt. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going into enemy territories. You got to come in and conquer. You got to come in and handle business. Do what needs to be done and get out of Dodge. And if we learn anything from the Pittsburgh Steelers-Ravens game, let us not leave this game up to the kickers. We don't have one. We brought in a couple kickers. We brought in a corner today. But let us not leave this game up to the kickers, please, because we certainly do not have the kicker on our side that the Jacksonville Jaguars have on their side. So handle what we need to handle, put the points up on the board, leave no doubt, and exit stage left with a victory. That's what needs to be done. But if we're looking at the roster moves that we made today, we had to sign Matthew Wright, kicker Matthew Wright, to the practice squad, and we had to release Richard Gurriage, right? Longtime practice squad lineman, right? Team also signed another kicker, right? Maddox Trujillo to a reserves futures contract. So Trujillo sounds like a Mexican name, so they went for a soccer player. But my man has a name like Maddox, so that's something. Maddox Trujillo is signed to a reserve future contract, and we'll go from there, man. But right now, as of right now, if you're probably wondering who the heck Matthew Wright is, he ain't a big boy, 5'11", $174, so he's just a lanky dude. $174, you small kid. Anyway, so here's what's going on with Mr. Matthew Wright. Appeared in games with Pittsburgh 2020 and 2022, so he's been in the game a little bit. He's got 4 years experience. Jacksonville in 2021, and then he spent time with Kansas City in 2022 and 2024, and then also with Carolina Panthers in 2023. Also shared some guy. This guy was all over the place, man. So he's been on Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Carolina, San Francisco, Tennessee, played some time with Washington and in Houston. So this brother's been all over the place. All right. So in 33 games, he's totaled 225 points of 60 field goals and 45 extra points made, right? He's made 60 of 68. So that gives him, he's about an 88% kicker, right? And that's including his point afters, which he's at 74%, 77% with his point afters from beyond 40. So he's appeared in all games in 2025, converting 5 of 5 field goals and all of his extra points. So he's been perfect this year. All right. So a native of Lancaster, PA. So, all right, let's go. My man from Lampeter, Strasburg. So that's the kicker that we brought on at the practice squad just in case Mr. Prater cannot go. Prater is day-to-day. So that is something that is at least refreshing that he's day-to-day. And we will go from there. But it's not a deal, man. We want our kickers to be ready to go. And if we need to call on you, make the play. But let's not leave it to the kickers. If you learned anything from the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, especially the Ravens, don't leave it to the kicker, because you're going to end up being like the Baltimore Ravens, being out of the playoffs and having their head coach being released. And it won't be long until he finds himself a new job. So we'll see how that goes. Signified Knows with a super chat. What's up, Sig? If I got to listen to this nonsense that there's no excuse for Josh Allen that I want, then I want the same energy for the coach, especially for the GM. Absolutely no more patience for those two bozos. No excuses. Well, here's how I feel about with all these coaching changes. McDermott still having employment and so on and so forth. I don't know what it is about McDermott, but I'm forever going to be a fan of McDermott, and nothing more I would love for McDermott with Josh Allen to be raising that Lombardi and those two looking at each other and saying, dude, we did it. You feel me? Deion Dox is getting in there and saying, yo, we did it. I've been your left tackle your whole career. Yo, we did it together. Bro, I nothing more than I want for that. But got to have results. Ozzie Newsome, DeCosta had to make some DeCosta had to make some decisions in Baltimore. I'm sure it was a tough decision. You had that coach since what? 2008? 18 years? 18 years as your head coach. Tough to make that decision, right? You've known that man almost 2 decades. Sometimes tough decisions have to be made. Does Pagula have it in him? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, if I watch what people have been saying about the Sabres, it doesn't seem like he does. I could be wrong, but that's a revolving door. But there's always a constant revolving door because they're not a winning squad. This is a winning squad. We've won 5 division titles in a row. This is the first year we haven't done it in 5 years, but we have an opportunity, a grand opportunity. So are there no excuses? There is none. You got to get it done. You got to get it done. And I've said this before, and I'm going to be record on saying it again. If somebody has to go, if Pegula had to make a decision, all right, we didn't like the results of this playoff run, and we lost in the first round to the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? And we lost because of XYZ. Bro, Bean's got to go. If I'm going to make a decision on who goes, got to be Bean. I'm keeping McDermott, right? If both had to go, I mean, I'd be shocked if both of them go. I think they return next year. I think they made it clear that they are returning next year, but I could be wrong. You just never know. Sometimes you could be Raheem Morris hugging the owner one moment and then fired in 4 hours. You just never know these days. You just never know. All right. My man Richie says, your job on Friday is talking bot off the edge. What is bot on the edge? You guys got bot shook? Is bot shook of these Jacksonville Jaguars? Is he? Nah, he can't be. Can he? I guess I'm gonna have to talk him off the ledge, man. Normally, I'm the one that's like, yo, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I actually feel good. Remember when we went up against the New England Patriots? I felt good going into that game. And I feel good going into this Jacksonville game. Do they have some weapons on that squad? Yes, they do. But guess what? There's only one football. And if we could put some pressure, and let's not forget, Cole Bishop's been playing at a damn good level. Let's not forget, Christian Benford has been playing some good ball. Let's not forget, Trey White has been playing some good ball. We've shuffled some things around at the linebacker position that's been a big liability in running the football on us. We've kind of tightened that up with Shaq Thompson. So we've made some tweaks. Although we've lost some big-time players, obviously. Michael Hoyt going down was a big one, although it was only 2 games, but you could feel his presence. But Greg Rousseau is a great run defender, and he's our leading sack artist. He's got 7 sacks this year. So we might you got some heightened, you got some size on there. So matchups matter in this. Matchups matter. So there's only one football. Just make sure that Braxton Strange ain't doing it to us, because the Jacksonville Jaguars with Braxton Strange in their lineup, they're 11-1. When he's not in their lineup, they're 2-3. Keep that in mind. So we've got to make sure that we stabilize that middle of that defense, because they're going to try to eat us up in the middle a little bit, and then we got to handle our business. So pass rush, please get there. Get there. If we have to, get some exotic blitzes in there, get there. This is where McDermott and Babbage are going to have to really come through and handle business for us. Let's roll. It's a big chess match, man. It's going to be Liam Cohen versus McDermott, man. What y'all got? Defensive mind, offensive mind. Who will prevail? Who's got the edge? And that's what we're going to find out. We're going to find that out. All right, my man Evan comes in and says, yo, I have a weird feeling Jackson Haas is going to go off. Golly, okay. Knox and Kincaid will be on their radar, but I don't think they'll factor in the rook. Hey, man, if we got to go, big personnel, and we in the red zone, shoot. If he's got to catch 3 touchdowns and that gets us the win, give it to me. I'll take that all day, every day. Appreciate that super chat from my man Evan. Appreciate you, my G. All right. My man Signified Nose comes back and says, yo, Rico, you and Bots suffer from drought derangement syndrome. That's why you like McDermott so much. You were so hurt by the drought, understandable, that you cling on to McDermott despite overwhelming evidence that he's not the guy. What makes him not the guy? I think he is the guy because he's well respected in that locker room. I don't think he's lost the locker room one bit. Harbaugh, some would say he lost the locker room. Who's got better than us? Who's got it better than us? No, we're not back in 2005, bro. You know what I'm saying? So McDermott still has that locker room intact. I think they still believe in his vision. They still believe in the process, and he's got these boys, locked in. They have tremendous love for McDermott. Do I have that drought syndrome? Who knows, man? Who knows? I just know what's out there. And I mean, listen, we're going to find out who's going to be out there to really handle business. I mean, I don't think I'd bring Dable on to be my coach. John Harbaugh, maybe. Not John Harbaugh, maybe. But listen, the last 4 years or 5 years, I don't know what the math is, the Bills have got the best record in all of the NFL the last 4 years. Led by Sean McDermott, right? So, listen, man. And I'll tell you this. There's one thing that I do want to share. Sean McDermott understands, you know what I'm saying, that, listen, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I freaking can to get this team over the hump. But somebody is not giving me the pieces that I need. I wanted a receiver. Y'all didn't give me one. You know what I'm saying? I wanted this, and I need the pieces on the offense side of the ball. And he, in his press conference just yesterday, he made two comments that I kind of caught on a little bit. And I'm paraphrasing when I say this. When he goes, hey, those guys got, they brought in some reinforcements at receiver, right? Meaning they traded for a receiver that the Bills were also looking at Jacoby Myers, at Myers, right? So that's one. And number two, he made a comment he made another roster comment that can correlate right looking at Brandon Beane. Now it's losing me. I had it in my mind and I lost it. But he brought up the receiver position and he brought up another roster situation. And I'll tell you this, man. It was cornerbacks. That's right. He brought up cornerbacks. He goes, man, we had 4 cornerbacks. And now we were down to 3. You know what I'm saying? What does that tell you? That tells you that we released one in Jamarcus Ingram, and we went to try to get Darius. And Darius Slay was like, I ain't feeling that. So we end up losing a guy that we liked, that was a special teamer, and a guy that we can bring in that we trusted. So now we're down to 3 cornerbacks. That's a shot at the GM. So like, yo, I'm trying to do what I can, but you got one of my arms tied behind my back, fam. Like, I might be exaggerating when I say that, but you catch what I'm saying. So it didn't go beyond me that McDermott was like, hey, man, these boys have receivers. They went out and got some, and they got depth at corner, something that I don't. I don't have the receivers, and I don't have the depth at corner. What you got, I'm working with what I can work here. So here's where we are. So listen, man, you want to call it that I have DDS? The DDS, listen, the drought derangement syndrome. Shoot, maybe I do got DDS. But listen, listen, I can laugh about this, right? But for real though, I like McDermott. I'm a McDermott guy, and it would sadden me if McDermott did go. But I did at the beginning of the year say, if McDermott can't get it done this year, if he doesn't get it done, he got to go. I've since changed my tune on that, because now I'm looking at Beane and saying, yo, what did you give us, man? What did you give us? So here's where we are. We've signed multiple guys in the middle of the year, didn't work out. We're now on to what? Receiver 3, and that's Brandon Cooks. So hopefully that's the remedy that we need to kind of give us that little edge. So let me get out of here and let you and free you guys up for the rest of your evening. And I'll end by saying this. The Bills have a grand opportunity to really make a run. And are we getting healthy at the right time in certain positions? Maybe. I'm more specifically speaking about Dalton Kincaid, because Dalton Kincaid in this offense moves the sticks. In this offense, gives us a different dynamic. It has people have to pay attention to 86. So if 86 is on the field, now it allows us to kind of move some things around, right? Now we got a deep threat. Now Josh will kind of look downfield and see what's got. But the major thing is we've got guys. James Cook is going to be running the heck of that football. I don't give a rat's ass who is there trying to defend it. He's going to run that ball. That duo is going to be coming right up your ass, right? So be ready for that. And once these guys are on edge trying to stop that run, play action. None of this bubble screen nonsense, play action. We play good ball when we're doing the play action. So once we just need Joe Brady to get in a rhythm. Once Joe Brady gets in the rhythm, he sees what's happening over there on the defense side of the ball with Campanelli as their defensive coordinator, a good defensive coordinator, you know what I mean? One that was a position coach with the Green Bay Packers, and now defense coordinator with the Jaguars. He's got these boys playing some good ball now. They got some good guys on that squad. Let's keep it a buck here. They got some really good players on that squad, right? And their big guy that's out there that can be a big difference maker is Josh Allen, right? The defensive end. He's always been a guy that kind of can change the game a little bit, or can disrupt the game. We can't let him disrupt this game. Thank goodness we have a disciplined offensive line that they understand what they're supposed to be doing, and they'll handle business, right? Eric Armstead, big free agent signing for these guys. right? He's got 5.5 sacks. So those are the two guys that are going to be getting after us, right? Defensive interior and Eric Armstead and Josh Hines Allen. But the big thing for me, man, these guys get after the football. They get after the football. And they've got 22 interceptions this year. So the guy that's got it is their safety, Antonio Johnson. He's got 5 picks. Devin Lloyd, linebacker, he's got 5 picks. So I'm thinking batted balls in the air. This boy's got 5 picks this year. The linebacker. All right. And then Jarius Jones. That boy is a nice corner, man. He can play. He's a solid player. He's got 3 picks this year. So I'm looking at this Jacksonville team and saying, man, they got some players now. They got some players now. Greg Newsome on that squad. He's making a difference for these boys. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this team is gonna bring come this Sunday. And listen, pressure, whether you want to call it pressure or not, man. Assignment, you know what the assignment is. The assignment is very simple. Get the job done. That's the assignment. We're not trying to hear nothing else but you getting the job done. Now, do the Jaguars have to worry about some of the things that we do? Absolutely. I mean, I can't stress it enough. We got a 1,600-yard rusher in James Cook. Oh, and by the way, Josh Allen's got 579 yards rushing himself this year with 14 touchdowns. So watch out right there. And you already know what we have in Ty Johnson and Ray Davis. So we cool on that. Receiver, we already know what time it is, man. Khalil Shakir is our guy that they're going to give the bubble screens to and so on. But Dalton Kincaid is who we're looking forward to being the X factor offensively to open things up for us. Who they decide to go with, Gabe Davis or Keon Coleman, that will be an interesting one. I'm sure that's got these boys, you know what I'm saying, losing sleep. Probably not. But surprisingly, guys, Cole Bishop's been a big-time player on this defense. He leads the team right now with 85 tackles. He's leading the team right now with 85 tackles. And the Bills this year, they may not be in the position that the Jacksonville Jaguars are with 22 interceptions, but the Bills got 13 interceptions themselves, right? Cole Bishop's got 3 of them. So big time, he's really come on and done some good things this year. Obviously, Greg Rousseau leads the way with 7 sacks. And we got some boys on the team, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these Bills bring to the table coming this Sunday. And I want to see the young boys get at, man. I want to see TJ Sanders get into it. I want to see, you know what I'm saying, Deion Walker get some playoff time, man. This is where players can be born, right? In the playoffs, man. This is where you can make your money. All right. So, folks, that's my time. And if you guys enjoyed this show, do me a favor, smash that like. And you know I can't get out of here without sharing a little something and what the sleeper slip is going to look like today. So let me share my screen for you fine folks and see what I've got up my sleeve for y'all. So let me prepare y'all real quick just to kind of give you a heads up. So you guys already know what time it is, man. Get your sleeper app. If you have not downloaded the app, go ahead and download that app. I don't know what y'all waiting for. Using our code BF25. So use that promo code BF25, like I mentioned to you, and you'll get the $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions always apply. See the Sleepers terms for your use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check your Sleeper app today. So shall we dive into what your boy has? By the way, use that $20 entry, man. This is right there for you, man. So use that code and let's get right into it. So let us get into what we see here. Oh, I got the wrong one. Let me slide that sucker in. There we go. There we go, folks. All right. So what are we looking for here? What are we looking at here? All right. Let me slide that over. So Josh Allen, 33.5 rush yards. Really? Give me the more. I'll take that. James Cook, anytime touchdown. If we're going to win this game like I think we are, give me the up, right? Give me the more. Dalton Kincaid, like I said, 16.5 longest reception. I said he's going to make a big play for us. He's my X factor in this game. Give me the up. Last but not least, Travis Etienne, they're going to try to run the football. You know they're going to. They're going to try to bounce it out. They're not going to try to let James Cook, get all that shine. So they're going to run the football. And we're not a very good run defense, right? But we've tightened up. But overall, the numbers don't look fantastic. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Give me Travis Etienne up. So those are the slips. Tell me what you're thinking about that. Are you feeling that right now? Is that something that you see standing out? If so, jump in there, get your swerve on, man. Go ahead and get in there and get your picks on, and then we will go from there. So, folks, that's my time. Appreciate you guys very much. You guys already know what time it is. And if you guys have not smashed that like, go ahead and smash that like. If you have not subscribed to the channel, shame on you. And by the way, do me a favor. If you don't know any friends that are Bills fans, or you're trying to get, this is the opportunity. This is the community that you want to connect. And if you know Bills fans that are looking for places to come and watch Bills content, send them right here. Hit that notification bell, and we'll go from there. All right, let me catch a couple comments coming in. I don't just do the super chats. You guys know that. I read them all. Let's roll. My man Walter says, yo, downplaying Harbaugh and pumping up McDermott is about as homer as it gets. Listen, I did say I would definitely, if they had to move on from McDermott, I mean, listen, I'd welcome Harbaugh. He's a bit of a cornball a little bit. You know what I mean? But I would welcome McDermott. I would welcome Harbaugh anytime. You go from one solid coach to another, can't say no to that. You can't say no to that. Actually, conversation in the group chat today was, if Harbaugh, if something happened where they said, McDermott, you got to go, they bring in Harbaugh. Imagine a Harbaugh-Dable connection. Offensive coordinator, you got that part. I'll take the defense. Let's roll. That would be something. That would be something. All right, let's see what we got here. My man Tebow. What's up, Tebow? Tebow says, yo, exactly. It's been Bean. Sorry, it's Bean. He thought Shakir or Coleman could be receiver one. He's laughing at that. We're also playing a left guard who would ride the bench on almost any other contending team, relying on paying bums like Bernard. I'm sure some people are kind of saying not so much on Bernard, but listen, we like Bernard. Last year, Bernard had a solid year, man. We depended on Bernard, right? He was one of our better defending players. So when we signed him, at the time it was a good signing, but right now he's having a tough time. So it doesn't look like the money's good. Was I surprised that we gave him an extension? I was, but then I wasn't mad at it either. I wasn't mad at it. My man Woo Woo, because there's so many people want to act like the Bills don't be out there grinding and putting in work. Shake my head, but that's okay, because we all know they're going to F around and find out when they continue to bastardize and underestimate. Woo Woo. Woo Woo ain't playing no games, man. Good for you, bro. My man Jeff King says, yo, McDermott has a better regular season winning record than Reed and Belichick, but it ain't cutting it with me. I want a Lombardi and a parade in Buffalo. Listen, I'm with you, bro. Jeff King, I'm 100% with you. Yo, cut the BS, man. Give me my parade. I want one. I told my wife, man, the minute they said these boys are going to the Super Bowl, I feel like they're going to win that thing. And when they say they're coming back to Buffalo, yo, I'm packing my stuff. And she goes, I'm packing with you. I'm coming with you. I say, all right, bet. So we already know what time it is, man. When these boys win that whole thing, we going to Buffalo, baby. My man Walter says, yo, I'm not hearing excuses for McDermott. We've had plenty of talent on defense for years, 2020 to 2023, and McDermott squandered it. We've had free agents on the defensive line that sucked under McDermott and took off when they left. I mean, yeah, that happens. It does happen. I can't even front on that. But at the time, too, McDermott was very one thing that I will say, in those moments that McDermott had that defense, he was very a conservative coach as well. So his conservative play style of not going for things and punting here, and I'm going to hold on to my challenge. And I won't. That's changed dramatically. So he's more of an aggressive coach, which has changed the way he's done things. So maybe his aggression now, had it been with him then, maybe results would have been a little different. Maybe. Just maybe. My man Sig says, yo, I totally agree that Bean and roster constructions are significantly bigger problem than McDermott, but I'm done entertaining these excuses. It's been almost 10 years with this coach. Yeah, man, we're going on almost a decade, bro. Listen, I ain't mad at you. I certainly am not mad at you, man. For real. I ain't mad at you. I see exactly what you're talking about, bro. My man Michael says, yo, we spam the play action with Trubisky and Ray Davis, but we don't with Allen and Cook. So I was watching that too, bro. That play action was working like a mother. So hopefully we integrate that going into the game against these Jacksonville Jaguars, right? Get these guys on their feet, man. Get these guys on the balls of their feet, leaning forward, the linebackers. So as soon as we catch them, we got Kincaid coming right behind them. Boom, right? Move the sticks. So once they start saying, okay, we can't be on the balls of our feet going after it. Now we can let Cook do what he does. I don't know. We'll see, man. We will see. Somebody said, yo, start Mitch Trubisky. You tripping, bro. you tripping. Myers is the number 2 at best and wouldn't have changed much on this team. A bigger bodied Shakir. But he brings toughness, man. He brings experience, right? He does a lot of good things for his squad. And they brought him there for a reason. Let's not trip, man. They brought him there for a reason. So and he's doing really good things for these guys. Jeff King said, yo, see you Sunday after the win. I want Brother Johnson stomp. Yo, listen, my man has been requesting Brother Johnson, and I will do my best to try to get you some Brother Johnson. I really do. Palmer is going to go off with usual 2 catches and 23 man. Palmer has been such a disappointment. He's been such a disappointment. I had such big, high hopes for Palmer, but he just hasn't been that guy. He just hasn't. Even in the limited time he had with Mr. Trubisky, I thought maybe they could have had a connection. Nothing. My girl, Laura L. Boogie. Yo, she goes, thanks, Rico. We got a shot, man. Let's take that to the top, baby. Listen, I felt like I read that with quietness, and I felt that you said that with quietness. So hopefully by Sunday we can kind of get this thing cracking, right, Laura? Ain't that right, L Bugs? All right, Spanish Jose. What up, Spanish? He goes, yo, be careful what y'all wish for, man. After Marv Levy left, struggled for years in finding a coach, and this is a great point. I'm glad you ended on that. That's why I'm not so gung ho on trying to, you know what I mean, look for somebody else, man. So listen, at the end of the day, I want that Lombardi to be with McDermott and his regime, but I'm not all the way sold on, yo, he's got to go. I'm not there. I was, because I want this so bad, but I'm not there on saying, yo, he got to go. He's the problem. Nah, I'm not there yet. But I mean, we could move on from him and then be in a position where we're looking for coach after coach after coach after coach after coach, right? Did you see the coaching carousel that we went through? Luckily, we have a franchise quarterback that we don't necessarily have to, but I've also seen where a team was held back and they changed the coach. The other coach comes in and then championship, i.e. Philadelphia Eagles, right? Andy Reid leaves, Peterson comes in, booyah, right? Andy Reid goes to Kansas City, booyah. So things happen. Things do happen. But we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. What am I talking for, like $140? I mean, I've been way too long, bro. I'll try to keep my shows at an hour, but here I am 40 minutes after. All right, folks, we appreciate it. You know, I got to read all the chats. It's a respect thing. I mean, I got to make sure that you guys are heard. Whatever you say, I try to read it and go from there, man. So enjoy the rest of your evening. I got to go put the garbage out, put the trash out, and do my husbandly duties and your father duties and handle business. So we will see you again tomorrow with my boy, you know who, the Thigh Doc, and we're going to talk injuries. Who's in, who's out, who do we worry about? This is the last game of the season, so everybody that we thought were going to be out better be in. The one name that I need to see that's going to be out of this game is Max Harrison. I knew that when he injured his ankle, there was a chance that he wasn't going to play. So it's been confirmed. He's at least out a week, maybe 2. So if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll see this brother back at the AFC Championship game, or we'll see him in the Super Bowl if we do what we're supposed to do. All right. But we're going to talk about injuries tomorrow, so stay tuned. We will see you guys tomorrow. You guys have yourself a great night, special night. Sleep well, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. So until next time, it's your boy, and we'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.